A Syrian military source has announced that army units have bolstered their defense lines in Northern Hama in central Syria, thwarting any breakthroughs by armed factions in the area. Meanwhile, our correspondent reports that Syrian and Russian warplanes targeted armed factions retreating to southern Idlib. According to Syria's state news agency, 2 airstrikes hit the city of Idlib, while Syrian state television claimed that over 1,000 militants were killed over the past 3 days. The Syrian Ministry of Defense has deployment of additional reinforcements to Northern Hama. In a statement, the ministry confirmed that these reinforcements include personnel, heavy equipment and rocket launchers. It also noted that Syrian and Russian warplanes are intensifying airstrikes on militant movements, resulting in dozens of casualties and injuries among the factions. Syrian state television also reported that over 1,000 militants were killed during the past 3 days of operations. The Syrian army has secured several key areas in Northern Hama, including Kalat al-Madik and Mardas, after driving out armed groups. That's according to military source quoted by state media. The source added that defensive lines in the region have been strengthened to prevent any militant breaches. Meanwhile, our correspondent reported that the withdrawal of armed factions from the town of Haifa, north of Hama, coinciding with the continued arrival of reinforcements to Syrian army positions on the city's outskirts. Thousands of people have been displaced in Syria following a recent escalation in attacks by armed forces. Families have fled Aleppo and the areas surrounding Idlib, seeking refuge at a camp set up for displaced individuals north of Idlib. The displacement follows recent assaults by armed groups, coupled with counter-airstrikes and shelling by the Syrian army. This surge in violence has triggered the largest wave of displacement in 6 years, their homes. Syrian Foreign Minister Bassam Sabag has reiterated the government's commitment to combating armed groups, emphasizing efforts to restore security, stability, and Syria's territorial integrity. He further stressed the state's commitment to preserving its sovereignty and unity. Iraqi President Abdul Latif Rashid has emphasized the significance of developments in Syria and their regional impact during a meeting with the National Security Advisor. He called on the international community to shoulder its responsibilities in supporting regional stability. In a phone call with his Syrian counterpart, Iraqi Foreign Minister Fuad Hussein reaffirmed Iraq's solidarity with Syria in its fight against armed factions. The United States National Security Council has denied any involvement in the recent attack on Aleppo. A council spokesperson stated that Washington is closely monitoring the situation in Syria and has engaged with regional capitals over the past 48 hours to discuss de-escalation efforts, civilian protection, and launching a credible political process to end the conflict. The spokesperson emphasized that the United States will continue to defend and protect its personnel and military sites in the region.
Possibly opportunity because you have this change in government here. And so part of what President Biden will communicate is we need to maintain stability, predictability through this transition.
Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is scheduled to visit Damascus today. a message of solidarity with the Syrian government. Araghchi confirmed Tehran's support for Syria and its fight against armed groups and accused Israel of destabilizing the region following its failure to achieve objectives in Gaza and in Lebanon.